I gotta say, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are account changers for many people that are getting started in Raid Shadow Legends, and we're gonna take full advantage of Michelangelo, and we're gonna use the turtles inside of the spider dungeon. Now, the cool thing about Michelangelo, which we're gonna take full advantage of today, is going to be his special. A2 special spreads negative effects, which we're gonna take full advantage of because the spider has lots of spiderlings. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think this is kind of a big deal because Michelangelo is free. Log in for 7 days and you get Michelangelo. Cool. If you use the link that I've got here on the screen, you're going to get 2 epics. No, 3 epics and 2 other legendaries. Use promo code Demon Slayer. So you're going to get a total of 3 legendaries, 3 epics, and then your starter champion is, use Kale. Then you're going to start the game off with like 7 champions right out of the gate. So this is quite good. Not only are we going to go into the spider dungeon and do the first strategy at normal 20, but then we're going to ramp up the strategy. We're going to be sweatigies. We're going to go to normal 20 to normal 25 to hard 1 to the max difficulty, which is hard 10. Now, I want to start off on stage 20, and we're going to do the basic strategy here of Michelangelo plus Geomancer. Now, Geomancer is an epic, but it doesn't have to be Geomancer. It can be any champion that has HP burn. And there's a ton of them, and you could sort your roster and find out who you have in your roster with HP burn. But as long as you have HP burn, this is going to work. Now, I got this strategy off of Reddit, and I thought, well, how can I make it work for all of the spider? Because this strategy that we're going to do here on this node won't work in hard, but it'll work possibly up until 25. So I just want to show you how it works. Other thing too is accuracy is super important here. You got to have about 225 accuracy on each of them for this to work. Now, if you don't have 225 accuracy, you can swap them. Michelangelo has an accuracy lead. You get an extra 70 there. So if you don't have enough accuracy, put Michelangelo as the lead. And what we're going to do is we're going to put HP burn on the main spider. And then we're going to spread it with his A2 on Michelangelo. And that's going to hit all of the spiderlings. And the spiderlings are absolutely going to just destroy the rest of it here. Look at that. They all have it. Now, what's going to happen is every time they attack, they're going to be doing damage back to the main spider. Look at it. Ping, ping, ping. Look at that. It's just, his HP is just melting away. Cool, right? That is super cool. We're going to do a basic. We don't really want to kill them off. We don't want to kill the spiderlings off. We do want to kill the boss off. But we don't really want to be killing all the spiders off. We want them to attack to do damage to the main spider, right? This is fun! This is so cool, right? This is amazing. And then we're going to knock down the turn meter. Oh, that didn't... Yeah, and then we don't really want to kill the little guys off. Oh, look at this. Are we almost there? Are we almost there? All right. Boom. 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 That is the coolest thing ever. That is so cool. It's like cheating. That is so cool. And we brought in food. That's what these 3 guys here. They're just here for food. We're basically taking them in just to get experience so that I can use them to train. They're there just to get experience. So I'm able to take 2 champions. Now, we're going to go into 25. Or if you try this strategy, it doesn't work for you, the solution is to bring in Donatello. Like if you have trouble right here doing exactly what I did right now, bring in Donatello. Donatello is going to make it so much easier. And so we're going to go up to the max difficulty inside of Spider's Den. And I was having some accuracy problems, so I'm going to put Michelangelo in the accuracy lead just to showcase that works. If I have enough accuracy, I guess I could put Donatello there because Donatello has better HP aura lead than Geomancer does. But we're doing the same thing essentially now, but we brought in Donatello, who's probably my favorite turtle right now as far as the way that they work here in Raid Shadow Legends. He's a great support. He can decrease cooldowns. He can cleanse. He's just an all-around great support. He's got like like a passive revive. We're going to start off with the A3. We want to get that extra turn meter, and we don't want to decrease cooldowns yet. We're going to do that here a little bit later. And we got Geomancer's going to pop off right there. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to spread everything. Spread! Spread! Oh, it didn't spread. Oh, right. Well, we'll have to come back. Sometimes that happens. We'll reset everything, and we'll try it here again in a minute. Let's see. Let's do this. There were these. The thing is I was doing it in a particular order, but it really doesn't have to be in a particular order. The team is good enough to survive. I probably can put this in auto, but I'm trying to make it look good. And I love Michelangelo. Absolutely love him. Absolutely, absolutely love him. Let's get this out here. We need to kill these off because they're going to come back and hurt us. Let's knock down the turn meter on the boss. There we go. And then we're going to get some HP back. I love that he can taunt, and he's got this thing where he gets the shield back. It makes him almost bulletproof against these guys right here. Let's see. We need to get rid of that. Let's do that. And then let's see if we can spread it. Are we going to be able to spread it? Oh, I think they're going to die. Well, let's do it anyways. Oh, it did spread. Oh, my goodness. It did spread. All right, maybe I need to get the books. Okay, well, let's just keep going. Eventually, we'll get it to work. I promise it worked. I did it so many times earlier today. We're just going to struggle when I'm recording it live, but that's all right. We can make it happen. All right, well, here we go. That will probably get rid of the spiders, yeah, which we need to do. And it's interesting is as this gets more challenging, you can just add more turtles. Add more turtles and it'll get the job done. All right, he's going to suck them up and hit everybody, which is fine. All right, we still have HP burn out there, so we're waiting just to cycle. I don't have a lot of the books. I don't have any books on Michelangelo, but I want to get the books on him. Let's save that until he has more turn meter. All right, there we go. All right, and all right, spread it. Well, please work. It's not spreading today. Well, are we going to get through it regardless? Maybe. Maybe we'll get through it regardless. Maybe I'm missing a key part of this strategy. Maybe the boss mechanic is different than I remember. I'm not sure, but I think we're going to be able to get through it just on brute force. If this doesn't work, we'll just brute force it, right? All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's knock down the turn meter there. Okay. Oh, he's such a good tank. All right, let's decrease cooldowns. Okay. And then we're going to have to do a different champion on hard because HP burn does not work. Let's knock down turn meter there. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's keep going. We're just going to brute force this today. But we could probably even brought Riffy up. Why isn't this working? Maybe there's a reason why it doesn't work. There it is. It worked. Yay. Maybe I need the books for it to fully work. Then we'll let the spiders attack and kill off the boss, right? There you go. There we go. Boy, maybe it was just random that it didn't work. I have to go look at the skill. Let's just attack in and it'll be over. But it looks like that the team is strong enough to make it through, even if that doesn't proc. Books will make it easier. I guess I didn't notice that earlier, that it's contingent on the success of that. Let's read it right here. Was 75%, then applies debuff spread, taking all debuffs and placing them on enemies will ignore 25% of each target's resistance if the initial attack was critical. Okay, so he doesn't even fully need all that accuracy that I mentioned earlier, but we got through it. Now, the thing with this is that the HP burn only works on normal. The actual mechanics of the boss, unfortunately, change when you toggle from normal, which you can see right here, to hard, and HP burn doesn't work. But what does work is Hex. And if you don't already have Mithrala, you will get her. Mithrala is one of the main reasons to participate inside of Hydra. Even if you don't do well in Hydra, just go in and do your attacks every week, put it on auto, get something. Maybe you'll pick up some Mithrala shards. It's worth it because she's going to be one of the best champions for cleansing and putting out Hex. So we're going to take advantage of Hex. And I'm going to put Donatello in the leadership right here to get that extra HP. And then you'll see how this works. And then the idea is that we want to spread the Hex with Michelangelo. And we're probably going to have to put this one on auto. But once I get it set up, we will just let it ride. I'm going to start off the match with, giving everybody like blessing and all that stuff and some heal. And then Mithrala on her A2 will put out Hex on everyone. And then from here, we don't really need to spread it. They already have it, but we can go like that. Look at that. They're dead. They're dead. Hex allows that to happen, right? Okay, so this is super amazing. Okay, again, we've got 2 pieces of food in here that are just going to die off the second they get attacked. For some reason or another, they're surviving. But you could make this work with Mithrala, Donatello, Michelangelo. Let's put out the Hex again. Okay. All right, we'll just do a basic. Now, this is going to damage all of them, right? You can see that's with a part of the Hex mechanic. Let's see. Let's just spread all of that. There we go. Yeah. Oh, they got chopped up. Oh, well. Okay, now, so there we got the Hex on there. So I probably should have saved that right there. I'm going to put this on auto and just let it ride, target the spider boss. This might take a minute or two. Once there's Hex out on the boss, eventually he'll do, Donatello will do his A2 special, which decreases the cooldowns, and then Michelangelo will do his A2 special, which spreads the negative effects. But you're going to be doing all this damage right here. And I'm going to tell you, this just gets better when you add more turtles. It just gets better when you add more turtles. But I'm just showing that right here, you can do this with Hex plus 2 turtles. It doesn't have to be Mithrala. If you've got another Hex champion, you can do that, like Mad Hatter or something like that. But Mithrala is going to be the most common. You're going to get Mithrala for free eventually just by participating inside of Hydra. It's one of the rewards. Now, to go into the max difficulty, I was not able to get Raphael to work. Now, I have all 4 turtles, and I'm guessing that eventually you will get Leonardo, but I could not get this to work with Raphael, but I can get it to work with Leonardo. Now, Leonardo should be in an event soon. I wailed hard on Prism Shards, and I pulled Leonardo, and I'm still able to do this basic strategy. But again, whenever I got stuck, I just started adding more turtles. And if I wanted to put Raphael in here, I could, but I think I'm not putting Raphael to prove a point that it is as long as I've got on the normal stage an HP burn champion, and on the hard stages, I've got a Hex champion, I could probably figure out what my account can do with the least number of turtles, starting with Michelangelo, then adding Donatello, then adding Leonardo. And this works. Yeah, this absolutely works. I don't even know if I have to set this up. I'm just going to start by targeting the main guy there. And Leonardo is going to do a lot of the work, but getting the Hex out there and then spreading everything is kind of important. Donatello is providing the support, absolutely, and then technically Mithrala is support as well. We're able to take in 1 piece of food, but on your account you can move up. You can start off with Geomancer and Michelangelo, and you can do that until it doesn't work. Just creeping up stages, go from 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then when that stops working, adding in Donatello. And then with Donatello, you can take it all the way up to 25 possibly. But if you can't, then just add in another turtle. Then when you get into hard, put in Mithrala or a Hex-based champion. It doesn't have to be Mithrala, but somebody that does Hex. There's a bunch of them, but she's the most common. That's why I put her in the video. And then do the same thing. Maybe just start off with 3 or run all 4 of them. You might be able to go all the way to the max difficulty of hard 10. And I do want to acknowledge there are times where you might want to do normal 20 because of efficiency for an event and silver efficiency. But I like getting the mythical accessories. So I like doing hard just because of the chance of getting some, mythical accessories. But at some point, maybe you don't want to do hard. Maybe you just want to do normal 20 because it's a little bit more efficient with the campaign energy to event points to silver. Energy to silver ratio can be a little bit more efficient. And then maybe that's a 2-man team, and then you can get 3 pieces of food. tons of stuff you can do. Absolutely. And again, if you have not done so already, click the link in the description or scan the QR code here on the screen. You're going to get 3 epics, 3 legendaries. Use promo code Demon Slayer to get Tholen, who would have been amazing in this video, by the way, as well. And then log in for 7 days and you'll get Michelangelo. Now we're still making progress here in Spider. It's a little bit slow going, but it's going. And I think we're going to get through it. I think what's going to happen is Leonardo has that massive damage when he hits a threshold, when he drops below a certain level, and then he just explodes everybody. Leonardo's quite good. I know a lot of people are very anxious to get Leonardo right now because it feels like it's a long time coming. I'm debating whether or not I want to get a second Leonardo. I really have not been able to get Raphael to work for me on my account. Maybe I'm missing something. I've tinkered with it a bunch, and I kind of have given up on him. Like, I think he can work, but he just requires, like, I think specific gear and a specific build. And I did promise that I was going to show you how I have them build. There's a couple things that are key on this. Let's talk about Michelangelo first. Michelangelo requires high, and I mean high amounts of attack. He needs attack more than anything else, and that has to do with his passive. And his passive is very unique, actually, right here. Places a shield buff equal to 300% of this champion's attack on this champion for 1 turn when they receive a hit, which makes him super tanky. So he really just needs attack. This also helps out a bunch because Wearer is instantly healed by 10% when their HP drops below 50%. This is actually one of my favorite epic relics, and it also has attack. Now, in addition to attack, he does need a little bit of accuracy. So I've got some accuracy on him. He's got a lot of attack, and I do have crit rate almost maxed out at 93%, and then a good amount of crit damage. Now, some people will suggest War Master. I like Helm Smasher, but this is my mastery tree for Michelangelo. Then when we look at Donatello doesn't need accuracy. I got some accuracy accidentally, but I'm mostly just trying to get speed on Donatello. You know, I just want him to be really fast and quite tanky to survive. He's there just to survive. If I had extra access to resistance, I think resistance is good on him, but it's mostly about fast. 325 is relatively fast for my account. And then as far as relics, Journal of Nakotis, any character that gives turn meter, I think that is helpful. Also, this is going to help with the HP and defense, but this is a very accessible. I mean, you should have bunches of these. Pretty much any character that I don't have like a super duper relic to put on a character, if they have any kind of healing or any kind of turn meter, this is automatically going on any kind of support. As far as the mastery tree, I went the War Master, and then we've got defense. I did not go down the support because I really didn't need any extra accuracy. And then I guess it's worth mentioning my Geomancer. My Geomancer is just maxed out for accuracy. And the reason why I did Geomancer with a bunch of accuracy is because I was using him for a long time on some of the last stages of Doom Tower, which requires very high accuracy. I don't know if I need his accuracy to be that high anymore. I'm not really using him as much as I once did. But at 562, I think I was targeting to go over 550. For the purpose of today's video, that's completely unnecessary. Again, I have Golden Elixir on him also. Golden Elixir is like a cheat code to Spider because those Spiderlings don't normally do a lot of damage, and they will knock him below 50%, and then they will get the healing, and it just keeps him alive. So if you're struggling in Spider, this Golden Elixir will save you. This particular relic also is super helpful against Scarab King, the Scarab one, because he hits a lot, but it doesn't do a lot of damage. And oftentimes those hits just come in and it drops below 50% heal, and it goes boop, 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 and it's not doing anything. So this single-handedly probably can get through A lot of the Scarab King, also Spider, very, very useful. And then here, got to use War Mastery on this guy as well. And then as far as Mithrala is just put as much accuracy as possible and make her tanky. And the reason why Mithrala wants a lot of accuracy is because her passive funnels that accuracy. Let's see, we'll read it right here. Also increases this champion's resistance by the amount of which is increased in equal to the total amount of accuracy as this champion has. So the idea there is you just dump it all into accuracy. That way, nothing will stick to her. So like all of this accuracy that I have on Mithrala gets put into resistance. So negative effects are just not going to stick to her. Then speed and HP, she can use all of it. And then we went War Master accuracy route on her tree. And then lastly, Leonardo. I don't know what I did on Leonardo. I think I just did a lot of damage. I've just started to test Leonardo. Yeah, I've been going Helm Smasher. So this is a big debate. I think Helm Smasher generally is better on damage dealers, especially if I'm going for ignore defense and I start putting gear sets like Savage, Lethal, Merciless. And so supports should be going War Master. But most, not all, but most damage dealers that are trying to do ignore defense builds need to go Helm Smasher rather than War Master. I've had to play with it. I've had good luck switching it around. And then again, here I'm maxing out the crit, trying to get as much crit damage. I'm not worrying about accuracy resistance. I've got limited amount of survivability. And then also here, looks like I'm taking advantage of, not really anything. You know what I mean? I'm not even getting to a ignore defense. So this is kind of a sloppy build, really. I think to get the most out of Leonardo, I'd be using something like Savage, Merciless, or Lethal, which is in high demand on my account. Hope this was helpful. Bye for now.